Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips Daily Fantasy MLB show. For today, the 11th of June, we're taking a look at everything you need for success in your baseball lineups on DraftKings today. I'm going to be looking at starting pitchers, stacks of the day, how we can construct a roster to maximise our potential point scoring, foundation players, the players we should be using as the foundation of a solid winning lineup today, and a value play at each position. At starting pitcher today, it's definitely a day where I think you need to pay up at pitcher. There is not a lot that I'm comfortable using further down the slate, but this is a problem with it being a Coors Field day. Jose Fernandez for 13,600 for the Miami Marlins. Although Fernandez is not as effective on the road as he is in his dominant form in Miami, he still is easily the most reliable option against a team in the top 10 for strikeouts in baseball this year. The park isn't great. Fernandez has 110 strikeouts in 74 2/3 this year and has allowed one earned run in 21 innings across his last three starts with 32 strikeouts and just one walk. That's what you pay top dollar for. Jake Arrieta's up as well for the Cubs. He's $100 less at 13.5. Off of a loss into this start. It's been a while since you could say that about Jake Arrieta, but he does get an ideal bounce-back opportunity against the light-hitting Braves. Arrieta has punched out 87 in 80 innings this year. While the Braves are below average, they do not score enough runs to threaten Arrieta and the Cubs here. He or Fernandez are worth their price tag. I've got a slight marginal preference for Fernandez, but, you know, either one's going to give you production. Chris Archer of the Tampa Bay Rays for 10,400. He has been better at home this year. All of the really bad starts have been on the road, particularly at Baltimore, at Boston, and at Detroit. He did allow 4 runs in his last home start against the Yankees, but only one of those was earned. He has not allowed more than 2 earned runs in any single start at Tropicana Field this year, and he still has 88 strikeouts on the season in 72 1/3, despite only getting past the 7th inning on one time. The strikeouts are still there. Against the Astros, he does have upside because they are a serious strikeout unit, and he does have 3 double-digit strikeout performances on the season. It is a big price to pay for what is something of a calculated gamble, though. I can make a case for using Justin Verlander at pitcher as well, if you want to shave some dollar off. Also, Masahiro Tanaka, he's got low strikeout potential against Detroit, but he's borderline usable. Dan Straley of the Cincinnati Reds for 7,300. He has developed into a decent starter for the Reds. The park is not good. The weather forecast looks to be aiding hitters quite a lot today as well. And the Athletics do have some pop in their lineup that can hurt you. He has limited strikeout potential as well. He's only got 59 in 67 1/3, and the A's are not a prolific strikeout team, ranking way below average, but it's that kind of day today. There isn't anything that you can look at and go, whoa, that's a big upside play down at the bottom in pitcher. And if you want to get involved in Coors, you're going to have to sacrifice something at starting pitcher. That's just the way it's going to be today. For stacks of the day, Boston Red Sox against Minnesota. The returning Kyle Gibson, he was horrible before he went to the disabled list this year. And it's not exactly the sort of welcoming committee he'd have been looking to see. First baseman, Big Puppy, David Ortiz for 5,400. It's a 340 hitter with 16 homers this year. Crushes righties, has the platoon in the matchup. Outfielder Jackie Bradley Jr. for 4,100. He's hitting 317, 9 homers, and will also hit from the right side of the platoon against Gibson. And outfielder Mookie Betts for 5,500. He's a 289, 14 homer guy with 11 steals on the year. The New York Mets get Willie Peralta and his 6.79 ERA at Miller Park today. Peralta has a 1.93 whip and allows a home run every 6 innings. New York have plenty of hitters who can hit from the right side of the platoon in this matchup, starting with outfielder Curtis Granderson for 5,100. He'll hit at the top of the lineup, has the platoon in the matchup, has gone deep off of Willie Peralta twice. It's a 209 hitter this year, but he does have 11 home runs. Outfielder Michael Conforto for 4,300 is another Met with a home run off of Peralta. He also hits from the right side of the platoon, 239, 9 home runs this year. And second baseman Neil Walker, if he's in the lineup, is 4,800. The switch hitter also has a home run off of Peralta, 273, 13 homers on the year. If you have the dollar to get involved at Coors, the weather conditions look fantastic for hitting there today. I would suggest Rockies against Eric Johnson. You can maybe swerve Padres against Chatwood, but Chatwood has been poor at Coors, and the Padres are cheap. But from a Rockies perspective, Outfielder Charlie Blackmon for 5,300 has the platoon in the matchup. 296, 6 homers from the leadoff spot. Outfielder Carlos Gonzalez for 5,500 also has the platoon. 300 hitter this year with 13 homers. And Gerardo Parra, the other outfielder, for 4,400 also enjoys the platoon. 262, 5 homers. And Nolan Arenado at third base. 5,600, most expensive player you can buy today for a reason. 295, 19 home runs. He had a home run yesterday and is pretty much platoon proof and bomb proof when it comes to Coors Field. The St. Louis Cardinals could also be worth a stack against Francisco Liriano. Liriano has been wild, he has been struggling. Shortstop Johnny Peralta for 3,400. He has 3 home runs off of Francisco Liriano. It's 400 since his activation from the DL and 1 home run. Outfielder Stephen Piscotty crushes lefties. You can have him for 4,300. He's a 305 hitter with 7 home runs this year. Matt Holliday in the outfield for 4,000 also has a home run off Liriano. 246 and 9 on the year, and shortstopper Ledmus Diaz for 3,800 continues to be undervalued. 317 with 8 home runs from the year, and he also has the platoon in the matchup. My foundation players today at first base, I will take Will Myers of the San Diego Padres for 5,000. It looks like a perfect storm of hitting conditions at Coors today, hitting at altitude in warm weather in a day game with the wind blowing out. Myers is one of the main San Diego power threats. He's hitting 294 with 13 home runs. He's got 3 home runs in his last 2 games. Second baseman Ben Zobrist for the Chicago Cubs is 4,200. The switch hitter gets Matt Whistler, who allowed 8 runs and 3 homers the last time up, with great hitting conditions forecast in Atlanta today. He's a 325 hitter with 8 home runs. At third base, Nolan Arenado of the Colorado Rockies for 5,600. I think you need to try and squeeze him into your lineups if you can. He's a 295 hitter with 19 home runs this year and has great chances for more today. At shortstop, Jonathan Villar for 5,200 of the Milwaukee Brewers is the premier shortstop option. He is better against left-handed pitching, but he's always a danger to swipe a bag when he gets on base at the top of the lineup. It's 298, 5 homers, 22 stolen bases this year. And Charlie Blackmon in the outfield for Colorado is 5,300. The leadoff hitter in the best park in baseball with fantastic conditions and the platoon advantage. There's a lot to like. He's a 296 hitter with 6 home runs this year. That home run total will only climb throughout the season as well because it's lower than it should be at the moment. He's been hitting the ball very well. My value play today at catcher, I'll take Nick Hundley of the Colorado Rockies for 3,700 because it's a hitter at Coors Field in those conditions for 3,700. He only has 2 home runs this year, but why the hell not? Would you not use him today? First baseman James Loney of the New York Mets for 3,600 enjoys the platoon advantage against Willie Peralta. Has displayed some pop at times in his career, and it's a great yard and matchup for him today. Second base is Yangervis Solarte, who also qualifies at third. He's 3,600. It's a cheap way to get some more Coors exposure in fantastic conditions. Solarte, I think, is better than this price. The switch hitter is 291 with 4 home runs on the year. At third base, Travis Shaw of the Red Sox also qualifies at first. He's 3,600. Enjoys the platoon advantage with Kyle Gibson. This is a calculated risk that yesterday's hit helps him get out of the extended slump that he's been in. It is a nice matchup against Gibson, as I say, so I'm going to go in with Travis Shaw today. My shortstop is Johnny Peralta of the St. Louis Cardinals for 3,400. He has been hitting the ball hard since he was activated from the DL, and he gets Liriano in nice conditions, a hitter that he's taken out the yard 3 times. And in the outfield, I'll throw in John Jay for 3,900. The San Diego Padres leadoff hitter enjoys the platoon advantage over Tyler Chatwood. 289, 2 home runs this year. That is what I've got for you today. Best of luck with constructing your lineups today. Will you go pitching? Will you go Coors? The choice is yours. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to like the video. Hit me up in the comments with the daily fantasy plays you like today and press that subscribe button. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I will be here all MLB season and through the NFL season with daily fantasy sports advice. If you haven't signed up yet, or you're interested in starting to play daily fantasy sports, please click the link in the description for this video and that'll take you where you need to go to start playing with DraftKings today. Best of luck with your lineups and have a great day.